Hey everybody, my name is Travis Hoffman. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the cloud. So let's get started with what our agenda is for today. So we're going to talk about virtualization platforms, some cloud services, a little bit of an overview on service-oriented architectures, some development models, and we're going to finish off with security, storage, legal, and privacy issues. So just to get a start on virtualization platforms, so these are platforms that have many different benefits, whether it's data security, a little bit backup operating softwares, sandboxes for pen testing. These tools are they're very beneficial for companies depending on what the need is. For our company, we're going to have to go over a little bit of an overview of what we need, what we want. So each different one has hypervisors. It's a bare metal hypervisor or hosted. That's kind of just the basis of what a virtualization platform is. But some of the common platforms that most companies or most businesses utilize are VMware, Oracle VirtualBox, and Microsoft Hyper-V. So let's get into some different services that are offered by the cloud. So there's 4 distinct services. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown. We're going to start with software as a service. So essentially, software as a service is just a subscription plan. We are pretty much going to go on a pay-as-you-go system. We would not have to worry about maintenance and upkeep just because we are utilizing just the software itself. Also, these are web-based services, so there's no need to physically download an application. And also some updating and patching, we don't have to worry about that as well because that's going to be covered by the provider. So to move on to the next one, we're going to go to platform as a service. So platform as a service, it offers platforms, as the name says, platforms as a service. So so these are usually sold or conducted by third-party or self-service providers. They offer the cloud infrastructure needed for companies to be able to create, deploy, and host things like websites and APIs and other platform services. So this is kind of a good route just because it's an alternative to virtualization. It enables scalability and flexibility for companies like ours that have already pre-existing infrastructure. This is also the most popular deployment method that is currently in use today. So to continue on top of that, we're going to talk about desktop as a service. So desktop as a service is very interesting because it skips the traditional desktop experience, and any one of our employees or any sort of management, anyone in the company can utilize this software or this cloud service anywhere they want as long as they have internet connection. They can utilize any device to use it as they would a traditional desktop. So it's virtualized desktops that come from a hosted server that allow us to access it through a web browser. It's on this is a current method that's on the rise because it's allowing companies to reduce their costs while improving flexibility. We're going to talk about infrastructure as a service as well, another very interesting service offered. It's a method that, again, vendors, where we would not have to worry about maintaining the infrastructure or equipment. That is handled by the vendor, so it's a little bit of a stress reliever in that department. This would help us or customers. We would be able to pay for the access without actually owning the physical software itself. These vendors are able to offer this at a fraction of the cost because they are not using traditional infrastructure setups. And it's beneficial for us because we would not have to own any of the hardware itself. We would be just utilizing the infrastructure that they provide us. So a little bit about service-oriented architectures. It's software services that create applications. So each service or each application provides a different business capability. They are able to communicate with one another across platforms and across languages. So these are interesting just because each service, like I said, has its deals in its own business capability. Developers love to use this model because you are able to reuse the service among different systems, and even you're able to combine these services to perform complex and calculated tasks. The benefits of this model is it's just faster time to market. You decrease the amount of money it would take to deploy a service because instead of writing it from scratch, you're just reusing the same service for a different business capability. The maintenance is also a lot easier because it takes less time and effort to patch and update these small connected services rather than one monolithic service, which is just big and clunky and very complex. Yeah, overall it's a very interesting architecture, and it's utilized a lot today. But yeah, this is a great route to take and to think about when we are talking about different cloud structures and architectures that would be involved in our decision making. So let's move on to each different deployment method. There's private, public, community, and hybrid. So to start off, we're going to talk about private. So private clouds are models that do not share platforms. So it's specific to just the business, and so it would be specific to us individually. This model's security is the strongest by far because it's dedicated to an individual client, which would be us. But also a downside to that is because it's only dedicated to us and built around us, it is the most expensive. But however, we would not have to worry about sharing or the possibility of accidental threats, insider threats. That is the one downside is the cost of it. However, on the complete opposite side, we have the public deployment model, which it's a subscribed service. This service uses a massive hardware installation or multiple installations throughout the country. This is, however, beneficial. It's very cost effective, so we would save more money because it's a pay-as-you-go system because, like I said, it is a subscription-based deployment method. So we would only pay for the computer resources that we utilize. It's meant to be shared by individual businesses, so we would be sharing this with other businesses as well. So community is it's specific to businesses, but it's specific to business communities. And what I mean by that is this system's very utilized by health, finance, or legal professions, just because those have very strict regulatory compliance standards. However, it is focused on specific business communities. So our business would be in the same community as another IT firm or another protection service, if in that sort of sense. It also helps with it's very beneficial because it helps with community-specific joint projects. So if we were to partner up with another company and work on a joint project together, we would be utilizing the same cloud because we are in the same industry. Hybrid is very interesting because it's a split between public and private. And what I mean by this is that we're obviously going to have very sensitive data. And with that sensitive data, we need to have it protected. So that would be on the private side. All that sensitive data, all the confidentiality, that would be protected and held in the private side of the hybrid model. Whereas big data operations that handle non-sensitive data would be utilized on the public cloud. This would help us if we were running like public-facing applications, and we would be able to run this without fear of sensitive data being released. So let's get into some security, storage, and legal and privacy issues. So this isn't a 100% secure system. Nothing is a 100% secure system. And what I mean by this is everything has its vulnerabilities in one way or another. Whether it's hard to get in or whether it's not hard to get in, there's still vulnerabilities that are able to be identified and extorted. So to start off, misconfigurations is a big one. It's one of the, if not the most common security and storage issue. Misconfigurations can lead to data being leaked, sensitive information being taken, just things like that. And that's where data encryption comes in as well. That kind of falls in line with the misconfigurations, because if we do not encrypt our data well enough on the cloud, it is not likely, but it is a possibility that the data at rest, in transit, or in use could possibly be taken, and malware could be injected. That is a common issue, not as common as misconfigurations is, but it is a very big thing to look out for while we are talking about utilizing a cloud service. And another big one is insider threats, because no matter what model we go with, whether it's private, public, community, or hybrid, insider threats are always a risk that needs to be weighed. However, if we keep up with our general maintenance and we have strong compliance standards and security standards, we can secure the system the best to our ability. So that meaning things just as strong access controls, proper configurations, and regular audits of our data to make sure that we don't have holes or any backdoor entryways, just so we can protect our stakeholders at all costs. I just want to say thank you so much for listening to this presentation. I hope it finds you well, and if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to email me, reach out. I will happily answer all of your questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.